What's going on, guys? It's PokePond and welcome to the pond. Today we're going to be looking at Pokemon Scarlet and Violet 151 as it's due to be released in English later this week. We're going to do a deep dive on what I think is going to happen with Pokemon 151, some recommendations on products, an analysis on price, and we're also going to take a little look at how the Scarlet and Violet block are doing so far this week. Just want to say a big thank you to all the new subscribers on the channel. Absolutely amazed that after our first video we received so much positive feedback from everyone. I didn't expect there to be such a reception after one video, so I've just been excited all week to come and do a proper analysis and do a new video for you guys, get that up there for you. Keep it locked if you want to keep up to date with all the content here. Okay, let's jump into the internet and let's look at some prices. Right guys, so we're nearly there. We are currently at September the 16th, and later on next week, on the Friday of next week, September 22nd is the official release date of English Pokemon 151. I'm really excited for this set to come out. I do have some pre-orders in. I do think it's going to do fairly well in the short, mid and long term. So yeah, we're going to have a little look at some of the price predictions that I'm going to be looking at, do a little bit of analysis, and we are going to have a little look at the breakdown of how the Scarlet and Violet block is doing so far. So let's start off with that, because it's important when you're looking at a set that's coming out that you compare it to how the rest of the block is performing. So we're coming off of the back of some pretty lackluster sets in the start of the Scarlet and Violet era. So the Scarlet and Violet era obviously kicked off with the base set. I do think that the base set booster box is actually quite a decent buy at the moment for the price. You're looking at, on TCG Player here, look, market price of $90. We're seeing a continued crash. It's crashing even more this week than it was last week. This is not a buy for long term. I'll give you a little bit of background. I invested quite heavily into Sun and Moon base set, which essentially had no hits, no chasers. It's when I really started to ramp up my investment into Pokemon and into booster boxes specifically. I bought a few of them, and I'm only recently now starting to sell a few of them. I've sat on them sealed for about 6 years, which is a hefty amount of time. It's longer than I probably wanted to sit on that product, but we're actually seeing some decent price rises, and I'm probably looking to double my money on these booster boxes, which when you look in the grand scheme of things is not bad. I know 6 years is a long investment, but people thought these were never going to go up, and I think Scarlet and Violet base set is going to be one of those sets as well. I think if you're willing to hold this for 5 to 6 years, you're probably going to double your money, and it's a solid investment, because I don't think many people will be doing that. And I think come 5-6 years time, if you post these on eBay, I don't think many people are going to be posting them, to be honest. I don't think there's going to be that many around. Yes, you might have to wait a little while to find the right buyer on eBay and get the right price that you want, but I think that they're going to be so scarce in 5 years time that you're actually going to be able to double your money on these. It's a pretty safe bet, but it's a long-term hold for sure. I think short-term these are potentially going to crash a tiny bit more, maybe another $10, but I don't think they're going to get much cheaper than that. Speaking of crashing booster boxes, let's have a look at the next set. Paldea Evolved, the number 2 in the Scarlet and Violet block, and we're just seeing again more price crashes, more price drops. We're down to $93.70 at current market value. You're seeing recent sales here of $92. Someone picked up 2 today in the US for $92.72. Again, this is getting close to distribution prices. I think that they're not going to get much cheaper than this. If you're buying a case of this, like a whole box of Paldea Evolved sealed, you're not going to get it much cheaper than this. This is not a bad buy. Like, again, long-term hold. If you're talking about a horizon of 4 or 5 years at least, not bad. If you've got the facilities, if you've got the spare space and the spare money, it's not a bad pickup. I don't think Paldea Evolved is an awful set. I just think that we are yet to see some of the strongest sets of Scarlet and Violet. And to be honest, Sword and Shield block I put as one of the best blocks in modern Pokemon cards. And to be honest, it started off a bit lackluster as well. Think about it. We had the base set, which again is climbing decent in price. We had Rebel Clash. We had Darkness Ablaze. These were all quite weak sets. Maybe you have one chase card in these sets, and they're doing all right now. Within not that much time, within a couple of years of being out, 2 years, 3 years of being out, we're starting to see some price gains on that. So for the long term hold, these are okay, but it's important to look at these when we're about to look at Pokemon 151, because we can see that the block's not doing very well. Now, that can actually go in Pokemon 151's favour, because are people holding their money? Are they waiting for the better set to come out? I think 151 is going to have quite a lot of hype, especially in English. I am just concerned that it's going to get printed to death. We have seen that in the Sword and Shield block, where you have sets that are doing okay on launch and starting to see a rise. The one that comes to mind is Shining Fates. It started off not too great. Sorry, I apologise. It started off pretty good, and then it got a wave of reprint, and it just started crashing, and it took a little bit of time for it to recover. And then you look at Shining Heroes as well. That was exactly the same as well. Started off very well, lots of hype around the set, and then it just got absolutely printed into oblivion. And we're not seeing a price rise back out of that even a couple of years later. Let's have a look at Obsidian Flames. Obsidian Flames is the most recent set to come out. Obsidian Flames is actually holding very strong. I feel like it's holding strong just because it is the best set so far out of the Scarlet and Violet block. Obviously, you've got the Charizard cards to chase as well, which usually pumps a set. I think Obsidian Flames is a decent set. If I was going to invest in one of these three, I would definitely go into Obsidian Flames, and I think that's why the prices remain steady, and that's important for us to look at when we're going into 151. Why is Obsidian Flames holding steady? Yes, it's the most recent, so it hasn't had time to drop, but also I think it's because it is the strongest out of the block so far. And to be honest, I think 151 is stronger than Obsidian Flames as a set list. Plus, it's got the nostalgia value. It's got the nostalgia value of the original Pokemon. It's going to appeal to some of those people who maybe don't collect as much modern, or maybe they've been out of the hobby for a while. These people who perhaps collected base set back in the day, it might do like Evolutions did and bring more people back to the hobby. I hope it does. Let's have a look at Pokemon 151 in Japanese, because obviously the Japanese set came out before the English set, as it usually does. However, it's slightly different because they do provide booster boxes. Booster boxes are not going to be a thing in English Pokemon 151, so that's something to bear in mind. But just to get a gauge, we're seeing price rises even week on week. These are going up. Look at this. I know I'm in the UK, so we're in pounds, but look at this, 165 now for a sealed 151 Japanese booster box, which is insane. I bought one of these a few weeks ago for 145, so that's a £20 rise in just 2 weeks. And that's pretty insane, to be honest. £20 is about $23-24. So to see that kind of rise in just a couple of weeks is insane. Look, you're seeing more here. 155 with free postage, 150 with free postage. That's actually quite a good deal. really seeing some significant rises here. Look at this one, 171 with £12 postage. This is an outlier here. This is from Germany, so in another part of the European bloc. Perhaps this person who bought this is in Germany, so they didn't want to have to pay import tax, etc. Again, 150. These are all recent solds as well. Look, these are all within the last 2 days. So it is a very positive sign to see that the Japanese set, even though it's been out for a little while, is starting to climb already in such a short amount of time. Let's go on to our next tab. Let's have a look then. So I know those were in pounds. Let's have a look at dollars then. Look at this. This is price charting for some of the last few days for Japanese 151 booster boxes on the American eBay. In dollar prices, look, we're seeing sealed selling here for 170, 150, 161, 161. 168, 172. Like, these are climbing already, and they're already becoming a little bit scarce because people are cracking these, and that's always a promising thing to see if you're going to be investing into a product. Are people actually opening it? If you're seeing people getting hyped about it and opening sets up on YouTube, you should feel happy as an investor. Every time I've got a stack of a product sealed in my storage and I see a big YouTuber cracking open a box of that product, I'm always happy, because how many people are going to see that video and then go out and crack some as well, or decide that they want to start collecting this set? That's going to be more being opened, more off the market. That's going to be more price rises for your product. The more it gets cracked, the less supply there is, the higher the demand, which is fantastic to see. Let's have a look at 151 then. So, without booster boxes being released, it's going to be interesting to see which products do well. I think the best performing product for you to get into is the booster bundles. I think everyone's going to be going for these, and the reason why people are going to go for these booster bundles is because it's going to be the most efficient cost to pack ratio for booster boxes. You're going to get the most booster packs for your money with these booster bundles, and the reason why is because there's nothing more to the product. It's literally 6 booster packs in a piece of cardboard, and that's it. No promos, no dice, no sleeves. You're not paying any extra for any fancy things. And if you're looking purely from an investment standpoint, unless you're selling to seal collectors, a lot of people are going to go for this product just for cracking booster packs, because they're going to be the cheapest booster packs. It may be a case that loose booster packs will become cheaper. However, people are reluctant to buy loose booster packs for 2 reasons. One, because they are more likely to be resealed or tampered with, and 2, because people play the odds with boxes. So people might buy an Elite Trainer box, and if they open 2 packs out of the Elite Trainer box and they get a big hit out of it, chances are that the rest of the box are going to have packs without hits in. That's not guaranteed, it's just more probable that those are going to be dud packs. So then what they'll do is they'll say, get a hit within the first 2 booster packs or the first booster pack, and then they'll sell the rest of the booster packs off loose. It's just a sneaky little thing people do. You have to be very, very cautious about people doing that with Japanese product as well, because in Japanese product it's even more likely, because in a lot of sets and booster boxes in the Japanese blocks, they have a guaranteed hit in one of the booster packs within the box. So what people will do is they'll go through the box until they get the hit, and then they'll sell off the rest of the packs. So it's something to be aware of. So I think this is going to be the best performing product. At current, pre-orders are going out for around about £25, or in dollars, I presume that's going to be something like $27, $28, $29, something like that, for 6 packs. That is going to work out to be £4.10 per booster pack, and that's going to be your cheapest product. If for some strange reason these drop below retail, recommended retail or MSRP, then you may see cheaper booster packs, but I think that's highly unlikely. So we're looking at a base price for the cheapest booster packs on launch to be £4.10, which is actually fairly strong, and I can only see that going up. The other products to bear in mind are the Elite Trainer boxes. These are not bad value. You're not going to get as good value as this, but you are going to get people who want the promo cards that are in these. The two differences between the Pokemon Center version and the normal version is you're going to get more booster packs in the Pokemon Center version, so it's going to cost a little bit more, and you're going to get an extra promo card that has the Pokemon Center stamp on it. This is going to be appealing for certain sealed collectors. They're going to want the Pokemon Center ETB in their collection. This is not a bad product if all of these sell out. The normal version is going to be a little bit cheaper, and it may become the most efficient way to get booster packs in the future if these are not available, and there's lots of these around that people want to dump the non-Pokemon Center version. There are a lot of collectors out there, as I say, who collect ETBs and will want the Pokemon Center version, so this is not a bad investment or hold as well. The reason why I don't like it though is because it takes up a lot of space. I myself, when I started getting back into Pokemon investing, decided that I wanted to start collecting Elite Trainer boxes. I have a huge selection of Elite Trainer boxes, and I'm starting to sell off a few of them now of the less desirable sets that didn't gain in value that much, and I'm keeping the rarer ones. I'm keeping the Burning Shadows, I'm keeping the Hidden Fates Elite Trainer boxes, and I'm selling off the battle styles. I'm selling off the Chilling Reign, and I'm taking a loss on these. Yes, I do think that they will do fine if I hold them for another couple of years, but I'm happy to take the L on some of the Elite Trainer boxes that I'm just not super stoked about having in my collection. I'd rather lose maybe 10%, 15% in fees, sell them for what I bought them for, take the L on them, and free up some space for some more products like this, because I feel like it's better to take the L and lose a little bit of money to free up those funds to buy some of these products that I think are going to gain in value a lot quicker, and I'd be much happier to have a whole stack of these in my collection than to have perhaps a Battle Styles Elite Trainer box. That's just how I feel and how I'm approaching it. As ever, this is not investment advice. This is just what I'm doing, how I think things are going to move. So, as I said, Booster Bundle I think is going to be the best pack to cost ratio, and I think people are realizing this. This is one of the most used retailers in the UK. I'm not sponsored by them. This is just one of the places that I do pre-orders from, and I have done some pre-orders from. Here is the available to pre-order section for Pokemon products. As you can see, these are available to pre-order right now, these orange ones. You have the Ultra Premium Collection, you have the tin set, which is already going on a bit of a sale. You have the Elite Trainer box here, you've got the Binder Collection, again going on sale. It's below RRP or MSRP before it even comes out. And look what's interesting, out of all of these products, you've got the ETB, you've got the Ultra Premium Collection, and what's the only product that's not available to pre-order that's out of stock? It's the Booster Bundle. This is what I'm talking about. Everyone is realizing and waking up that this is going to be a big product. In other sets, it's not going to be that desirable because people don't feel like this is not a collection piece. This is purely to get a good booster pack to cost ratio. Usually the go-to is going to be the big booster box, the 36 pack booster box. That's going to be the most efficient way, and that's why booster boxes do well long term. But because this is a special set or a holiday set, there are not going to be booster boxes, which means that this product is going to be super important. I've got lots of pre-orders on these at this price, I think these are going to do really well short to mid term. If you can't pick up a pre-order now, don't FOMO. I think you will get plenty of chance. Although I do expect to see some price rises on launch, I do think this set is going to be heavily printed. And I think after the initial surge and the initial print wave, I do think prices are going to drop back down to MSRP or recommended retail value for a while. I think that they're going to sit there for a few months while future waves are printed. I think that because these previous sets in the Scarlet and Violet block are not doing very well, I feel like Pokemon Center and the Pokemon Company specifically are going to print heavily into Pokemon 151 because it's going to be doing well within the block. I think it's going to be the best performing Scarlet and Violet set so far. And I think it will be for a while. So I think it's going to be printed to demand. Don't FOMO. If you miss the first wave, I don't think you need to worry. You'll see prices rise in the first couple of weeks after release. Don't worry. I think it's going to get plenty of future waves. And yeah, I think it's a decent buy. But I do think it's going to be quite heavily printed. Setlist, we had a little look at this in our last video. If you haven't checked out our last video, please do check it out. I think you'll find it informative. I talk about all sorts of different products to invest in, what I think are going to be hot picks going forward with both English and Japanese, and do a little bit of a breakdown into some different sets. This video specifically, we're looking at 151 though, as it's about to release. We had a little look at this set list last time, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but look at these awesome alt arts for the starter Pokemon. We've got the Bulbasaur, the Charmander, obviously we've got Charizard EX, there's a special Pikachu as well, there's a special Psyduck somewhere, there he is hiding away. I think it's a nice set, plus it's got the nostalgia of the original 151. And then just to round off, oh, this Mr. Mime's nice as well. Just to round off, I want to talk about the confirmed release of a new card, which was confirmed earlier this week, which I didn't get to talk about in my last video. And this is the Poliwhirl, which has been confirmed to be coming out in English as a secret art rare or illustrator secret art rare. This is going to be one of the new chases. It is a beautiful card and I'm so happy this is coming to the set. This just adds even more strength to what I think is an already strong set and is already going to be the strongest set in the Scarlet and Violet block so far. I don't think it's going to be the best so far, or the best overall in the block, but we're yet to see some of the future sets come out. I think there may be some bangers towards the end of the block in 1 year to a year and a half's time. We just don't know what's coming yet. But yes, very exciting. Happy to get my pre-orders coming in towards the end of next week. If you want to look at some other products to invest into, make sure you do check out the last video that I uploaded. Again, big thank you to all the new subscribers on the channel. Keep it locked if you want to keep up to date with all the prices and news coming out with English and Japanese Pokemon. I've been your boy PokePond. Keep it locked. Hope you have a great day and peace.